Aloha friends, I hope you're doing well. I'm here in Kona, Hawaii for a client video shoot, and I thought this was the perfect opportunity to talk about something that is near and dear to my heart, and that is really about overcoming the fear of being good enough. I thought that I didn't have that fear. I was always very action-oriented, and I just figured, this is what I need to do. I need to put myself out there on video if I'm gonna be teaching about video. However, it wasn't until maybe about year 4 or 5 in my business that I started to reach a different type of resistance and fear, and one that I had thought that I had never really had before. So how this came to be was I started to feel a lot of anxiousness around preparing for video shoots and being really prepared with my gear and like thinking about all 180 different scenarios that I had to be prepared for. And so I wanted to bring this up because I think many of you who are stepping into doing something new, whether it's creating videos, putting yourself out there more, or just starting a new business venture, building your own business, something that feels daring and yet at the same time it is so out of your comfort zone that inevitably I think for many of us we question if we're good enough. Is this thing for us? And interestingly enough, even in my Facebook group, as I was checking the comments on the day that I left, somebody had posted, I'm about to do my first client interview and I'm so nervous. And I remember that, I remember going out and shooting my client videos with gear that, I knew how to operate, but I wouldn't know what to do if something went wrong. And I felt really anxious in those situations. And I think it's a normal thing as we are learning and putting ourselves out there and also putting our work kind of under the critique and criticism of a client or the world. Yet at the same time, I think it's so important to remember that this discomfort is a very natural part of our growth process. And if we didn't feel that discomfort and that fear, it means we're staying comfortable and doing the things that we're used to and that we know and that we're not actually growing. That fear and that discomfort is always going to be there until you push yourself past that edge. And even when you push yourself past that edge, there's still gonna be that fear, right? I still get really nervous before shoots. I worry that, am I gonna go out to a sunset location with a client and then I'm not gonna get the shots that I want, and then maybe we have to go back to the location or we'll just miss that opportunity entirely, So I hope that by sharing the neurosis in my mind, that it helps you to see that your fears and your resistance and your sense of anxiousness perhaps around the work that you're doing, the work that you're putting out into the world, and this growth edge that you're pushing up against yourself, I want you to know that it's totally normal. And that sense of fear also is not representative of whether or not you're here to do the work or not. And I feel that in my experience, every single project teaches me a little bit more around my gear, my limits, and my skills. And there's always gonna be more that I can learn. That discomfort is not meant to deter you from actually doing that uncomfortable thing and doing something different and putting yourself out there. And in fact, I think it actually grows our character when we are willing to put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, to always be a student in our craft and to always commit to that learning curve, which inevitably means we are going to be uncomfortable, we are going to feel afraid, we are going to not know what the outcome is. But I think that's such an important skill to have in entrepreneurship and in life in general. Now, we can't allow those feelings of, am I good enough, to stop us, because I can promise you the only person wondering, are you good enough, is ourselves, right? And most of the time when we really put ourselves into those situations and we commit to learning something new and we take those imperfect steps, that is actually building the foundation for who you're meant to become in the future. And I think this is such an important part of our personal growth and business trajectory that we can't forget that. So I wanted to share this message with you today, and I hope that it serves you. I hope that it's helpful, and I hope that you take the step in doing something uncomfortable. And perhaps I want to even challenge you to do something that is really uncomfortable, that is outside of your zone of what you normally do. Try something new, try a different way of moving through the world, and that can really teach us a lot around our growth edges and reassure us that those are indeed just edges that we can absolutely move through, and they'll also create a compound effect for what you'll create in your life and in your business.